Well, hello people. Welcome to the next Senpai. From a tragic revenge story to an inspiring journey of self-discovery, the character becomes the strongest and surprises everyone by overcoming his challenges. These are the top 10 anime with main characters who were previously humiliated, betrayed, or even abandoned, but managed to awaken with superpowers abilities. These anime aired between 2020 and 2025 and represent some of the most incredible fresh anime series ever released. Keep watching this video and stay awesome. Let's go! Getting bad treatment and are often looked down on for possessing low-level skills. Ain is a young man who has a job as an appraiser, a profession that in this world is considered the worthless class. Getting nicknamed a rubbish picker, he was permanently attached to him because he was only used to appraise the quality of monster material that had been defeated and removed from their bodies before being sold to the Adventurers Guild. One day, while he was exploring in the dungeon, Ain was betrayed and abandoned to use for their own safety, who had been surrounded by the abnormal monster gang. Being on the verge of death brought him to a rare place and changed his life from then on. Together with Yuri and Ursula, Ain formed new adventuring members who would predictably dominate with harem squads and have been transforming with overpowered abilities that would surprise everyone. He will face various challenges and grow from a worthless job to a true hero for the world. The story begins with the tragic story of a blade master who was attempted to be killed and betrayed by his colleagues who sought to steal his honor and take all the profits of the kingdom after completing a dangerous mission in the Forest of Death, which has earned him the nickname of the Seven Legendary Heroes. Surprisingly, by some miracle, he managed to survive the Lance of Betrayal. With a new appearance and a new identity as Coinzel, he is on a quest for revenge against those who betrayed him. Coinzel, later as the Hero Killer, will mercilessly destroy the lies they built and clear the reputation of him and his colleagues who have been murdered for the false accusations they spread. This show is very thick with suspenseful gore elements and intense plot development where it will explore the boundaries between justice and revenge in fresh fantasy aired at the beginning of the year. Feeling disregarded and unneeded by everyone, that's what happened to Famisha, a little girl who was reborn in another world as a monster tamer, with the predicate of the weakest class and detected to have no stars, and she was considered a harbinger of misfortune for her surroundings. With her status being denigrated even by her own family, she decided to leave home and embark on a journey alone. Fearing for her safety, she disguised herself as a boy and changed her name to Ivy. Accompanied by Sora, a small slime who is considered worthless, they go through life picking up trash and doing all sorts of things to survive and get the fate they deserve. Underneath her homeliness, she has a will and intelligence that make her grow into a more formidable adventurer, and those who once underestimated her begin to look at her with admiration. Fun fact, this anime presents the theme of slow life combined with hard struggle, making it a unique story about the inspirational journey. Living with the role of a healer is not easy. It is often considered only a compliment and incompetent because it does not significantly impact the group's development. That's an overview of the main character from The Healer Who Was Banished from His Party. Lao's life seems hopeless as the weakest healer. He is scorned by other adventurers because of his reputation as an incompetent and has had a bad experience being scammed by his previous colleagues. In the midst of adversity, a rookie adventurer named Narcina came up with an offer that changed everything with formed an adventuring group together. That simple decision became the turning point of his life. On their journey, Lao's hidden potential was finally awakened. His healing powers developed to unprecedented levels until he could protect and destroy his enemies. He proves that a healer is not just for support, but can also be the most formidable warrior on the battlefield. The beginning of the story is similar to that of the Arifureta show, where the main character of this anime is sent to another world with his classmates by the summoning goddess. They are sent to become heroes who will save the world and solve various complicated issues in that world. He was only given abnormal abilities and discriminated as a failed hero with an E rank. Toka was forcibly eliminated and banished to a dangerous area by an arrogant summoning goddess to avoid becoming a burden to those with more extraordinary talent. In a desperate attempt to survive, the supposedly worthless skill turns out to work every time to fight the dangerous abyss monsters. Of course, the next thing we can expect is for the main character to transform into cunning and look vicious, armed with the ability to render everything standing in his way completely helpless. He's on a mission to track down and carry out the ultimate plan of revenge against the summoning goddess. The main character in this anime series is considered weak because he has useless abilities and stacks at a low level. That is the miserable life of Fate Graphite, a humble gatekeeper and bearer of the gluttony skill, one of the mortal sin skills, which always makes him suffer from an uncontrollable hunger. Because of that, the enforcers torment him and consider him trash for having it. But who would have thought that the cursed skill that everyone underestimated turned out to be a path to incredible power? Where does it increase his stats to grow stronger and give him taboo skills that break the world's logic? With the mysterious sword greed, he begins his journey to grow stronger by further exploring the true potential of Gluttony's abilities and avenging those who humiliated him. One of the interesting attractions in this anime is that the main character has a wild personality and tries to stabilize his cursed ability by killing monsters at night. At the same time, he must have a constant supply of souls to feed it and hide the cursed ability from the people closest to him. Inspired by the excellent Joker quote when he said that a great villain is born from the kindness of someone who was harmed. That's a brief overview of the passion narrative of Kearu, the story of a hero healer who specialized in healing all injuries regardless of severity, but what awaited him instead was great agony by transferring their suffering to himself. Not stopping there, Kearu's misery continues as he is forced to live as an experimental object, betrayed and tortured ruthlessly by his colleagues. It's a turning point when Kearu succeeds in his ultimate plan and uses his momentum to turn back time and change everything in his own way. It is also part of a brutal revenge plan against everyone who has oppressed him over the years. By activating his extreme healing abilities and utilizing his previous knowledge, Kearu replaced his old personality with that of a manipulative and cunning misanthrope so that he could have his revenge. Have you ever felt like heroes are supposed to be the guardians of the world, but then you find out that they're actually just a bunch of cruel people with dark mysteries hidden? In this show, we are invited to see the story of Super Sentai with the concept from a different perspective. The story is about Fighter D, a part of the common foot soldier squad that the Ranger Dragon Keepers have always underestimated. For years they were considered losers, and only a spectacle of public entertainment to maintain the reputation of the Dragon Keepers when the world posed no significant threat. In this case, the fed-up Fighter D decides to infiltrate the heroes' organization and destroy them from within. What makes it exciting is that he initially looks weak with no combat power, but he has brilliant strategies and manipulation abilities that overwhelm the Rangers. The plot twists in each episode will leave you wondering, how does Fighter D plan to fight back against the Dragon Keepers to get the justice he expects? As a child who her family did not consider, Mio grew up under pressure and unfair treatment, who suffers through a long time of abuse from her own family. Born without supernatural powers, she was further unwanted. She had no other choice but to be forcibly married off to Kyoko Kudo, a notoriously hearted and cold aristocratic man with a lousy record for ignoring all of his previous former fiancés. When everyone thought this would only add to Mio's misery, but they were so wrong, how it turned out to be the exact opposite. In this marriage, Mio discovers the supernatural abilities that her family has been hiding. Kyoka's persona helps Mio develop into a strong person and shows her the true love that Mio needs. The unique fact is that My Happy Marriage presents not only a romantic story, but it also boasts fantasy elements, including a supernatural fight wrapped in a mystery drama, which makes this show even more complex and enjoyable. Usama Ranking introduces us to the young Prince Boji, a disabled little prince who everyone often underestimates, including the people of his kingdom who always look down on him. As the official of the next successor, they see him as a useless princess while mocking his foolishness, an incompetent person to become the ideal of a king like before. But Boji never gave up. With a determination of steel and a big heart, he embarks on an epic journey with his best friend Kage to prove that true power comes from courage and the budding foundations of the prince's journey. Behind his innocent and cute appearance, Boji holds an extraordinary ability to fight. His agile moves and clever strategies overwhelm larger opponents and will surprise everyone that true power doesn't always come from big muscles. This anime has won the audience's hearts with its warm visual style and powerful narrative that is full of emotion. Every moment of Boji's struggle is heartfelt, especially when he manages to overcome all the negative assumptions and the constant ridicule from everyone who humiliates him. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section about another anime with overpowered main characters and the same concept. If you're here for the latest anime update, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on other exciting content. Have a nice day, everyone. I'm signing out in peace.